winter concert of the Beaumont Chorus. We're so happy that you could join us here tonight. We've got some songs to sing for you, some sentiments to share, and we're really grateful that you came out. We're going to jump right in with some music. This first piece is called Antiphonal, Deck the Hall. It's arranged by New York-based arranger named Gilpin, and we're going to sing it, and then I'll tell you some more about the program. So this is the Beaumont Chorus, and we're singing Antiphonal, Deck the Hall. Antiphonal, of course, meaning kind of two opposite sides of choir singing together, and you can really hear that with the sopranos and altos here with the basses. However, you may recognize the words, but not necessarily the tune. It's an old Welsh tune for familiar words, and it's the starting point for our concert because this is a wintertime concert that is decidedly un-Christmassy. And you'll hear that in the next piece, which is called I Will Bow and Be Simple. It's an old 19th century shaker tune and melody and words. And part of, you may recall that the Shakers lived very simple lives. And in this song, the refrain constantly refers to living simply and comparing oneself to a willow tree. Here in this season of Advent, in wintertime and Christmas time, I wanted to, in putting together this program, kind of scale back some of the commercialism of the season and instead reflect on quiet moments. Some of my favorite parts of Christmas are when all of the bustle of the house calms down and the lights are turned out and the only thing illuminating the living room are the lights of the Christmas tree, those moments of stillness, or when you walk outside in the snow, if we had any, dampens the sounds around you. And so that's somewhat what this song is about here. It harkens back to the beginning of the Christmas story when it was just a baby in a manger because the hotels didn't have any rooms left. Simple beginnings. This is I Will Bow and Be Simple, a Shaker melody. So that's kind of where this program starts, simplicity. And in simplicity, often it causes us to act a little differently. When you take out the piano and sing a cappella, you listen to the words a little bit more. And that's part of the entire sentiment here. Simple gifts, simple pleas as well. And that's where we get to this next piece, OSE Shalom. OSE Shalom translates as the one who makes peace. Its text comes from the Jewish mourner's Kaddish, which roughly translates to, if you can make peace in the heavens, in all of us, and in all the world. And it's these simple beginnings that, again, we keep on coming back to here. This song also, unlike the last one, features Luke Carroll Fix, our accompanist for the Beaumont Chorus, quite extensively. And you'll hear her playing in some interludes in this piece as well. And so here we will sing for you, OSE Shalom. So next up on the program is about as close as I got in putting together this program to a Christmas carol. I know that What a Wonderful World is not a Christmas carol, but what I was trying to do here is put up something that's a little more recognizable, something that's a little more tuneful as well. And it as well talks about the simple joys in life, right? Trees of green, skies of blue, clouds of white. And it's just really simple in that way, and it's simple and joyful, and that's really the reason why it's here. So without further ado, we'll sing it for you. suppose this would be a good time to say that if you would like to join the Beaumont Chorus, we are absolutely welcoming. You can have as much or as little musical experience as you like. I and Luke Carroll will supply the rest. And we have a good time. We meet on Thursdays from 3:15 to 4:30, usually in this room. Which, by the way, singing Deck the Hall in this room, it's a very decked out room. It's a really wonderful place to make music. I want to thank Paige and the rest of everybody at the Beaumont for making this such an accessible and a meaningful kind of musical community. That's really what we are. We talk about poetry, we talk about music, we talk about what it means in our lives. And that is a really great segue into this next piece, and this shall be from music. Sometimes when you're putting together a program, you can think about all of the kind of conceptual relationships about the pieces and everything like that. And other times you just got to give the people what they want. And this is one of those pieces. In the 3 months we've been putting this together, it's very clear to me, standing up in front of them, that they love this piece. And I think that you will agree as well. It really speaks to some of the power of music to not only engage the mind and the emotions, but also really uplift the body. And singing together, using everything about you, being in a community with others, is all wrapped up into this piece right here. And so, this is And This Shall Be From Music, and I think you'll agree with me when you hear it.
I will make you grow just as I'm
That's a really good piece. So this next piece is kind of where I started in putting this whole program together. It's an art song by a British 20th century composer, Herbert Howells. If you know of Herbert Howells at all, it's probably through church music. He wrote a lot of anthems for choir and organ, and a lot of organ music. And this comes from very early in his life. It's also the piece on the program that took the most convincing to get them behind. It's a little obscure, but the reason that I love it so much is because of the text. And so, I'm going to read you the entire poem by Bryn. It goes, "Sweet are the thoughts that savor of content. The quiet mind is richer than a crown. Sweet are the nights in careless slumber spent. The poor estate scorns fortune's angry crown. Such sweet content, such mind, such sleep, such bliss, beggars enjoy when princes oft do miss. The homely house that harbors quiet rest, the cottage that affords no pride nor care, the mean that agrees with country music best, sweet consort of mirths and music's fair. Obscure life sets down a type of bliss, a mind content, a crown and kingdom is." And I think that's awesome. I also think that it fits on a Christmas program a little bit in the way that "I Will Bow and Be Simple" does. Beggars enjoy when princes oft do miss. It all goes back to the tiny baby in a manger when no hotel would let them in. And so, we will sing for you now Herbert Howells' Sweet Content.
Sweet
grateful that they stuck with it, because that's one of my favorite pieces of music, as obscure and melancholy and British it is. So the last piece on the program that we have is Ezekiel's Wheel. You always got to end the program with something uplifting, and I think that you will find this fits the bill. It's a mashup of two spiritual arrangements. One of them, Ezekiel saw the wheel. The other one, there's a little wheel a turning. And part of why it's placed here at the end, besides being something like uplifting to take us into the reception, which is right after this, is how it talks about carrying things with us. There's a little wheel a turning in my heart, and how these somewhat simpler concepts that can get overlooked in some of the glitz and glamour of the season should always be lodged in the back of our minds. That's what I think of in December anyway. And so, yes, I'm really grateful that you all came and joined us on this Thursday evening. I'm especially grateful to the Beaumont Chorus. This is my second year with them being the director, and it's been a joy the entire time. I'm serious if you want to come in the spring and sing. We're always looking for new members, and I'm also serious that you don't need to have any experience. Like, we'll provide it all. And yeah, so this is Ezekiel's Wheel. We'll see you afterwards over at the reception, and happy holidays to you and yours.